Hi, everyone. We're back here at Qualys ROCon. We've got a few more interviews as we wrap up our day 2 shooting here of our coverage of this event. I want to introduce you to Joe Moore. Joe, welcome to TechStrong TV. How are you, man?
Thank you very much. Doing pretty well.
Good. Joe, if you wouldn't mind, look into this camera right here. Let people know kind of who you are, what you do, what brought you here today.
Hi, I'm Joe Moore. I'm the Cybersecurity Architect for Siemens Digital Industry Software. I've been a Qualys customer for a dozen or so years and wanted to catch up on some new topics. Also gave a little talk here today.
Excellent. It's a great year to catch up on new topics because there's plenty of them.
Sure has, yeah.
Yeah. You know, I've been covering the Qualys, what used to be the Qualys Security Conference, QSC.
QSC.
I've been doing that for 5 years as here at TechStrong. You know, I was friends with Philippe for many years before that. But this is really, well, it's a new name with a new focus, but there's so much going on in our world right now, Joe, that it's a crazy time. If you don't mind, you know, Siemens is a big company. I've interviewed a ton of people from Siemens, everything from the folks who do the digital twinning
Yep.
for boats, for ships and stuff like this. Of course, high-end electronics, everything else. What exactly are you do, you know, part of Siemens US?
So I'm in the digital industry software part. We make the software, the CAD CAM software. We make the product lifecycle management. We do supply chain management software. We do a lot of work in the digital twin space.
Oh, you do?
Yep.
Okay.
So simulation and testing, electronic design. If it's something that you can download, there's a good chance that our company or our division is involved in producing it.
Yeah, I've done several on the digital twinning stuff. It's really cool stuff.
It's a neat area, especially seeing how that can apply outside of just the traditional manufacturing space. We actually apply it internally.
I would say there's a place for it in security.
Absolutely. Yeah.
In
I've
development.
talked about that before, that being able to model our software production process and create a digital twin of the building process for our software, that can have implications, that can have benefits. We use machines to convert raw materials or source code into our product.
Absolutely. Even just from we run DevOps.com, Security Boulevard, Container Journal, a bunch of Cloud Native now, a bunch of others. Just from the idea of being able to test software before it goes live, but in a real, well, it's not real. It's a digital twin of the real environment, right? And that makes a huge difference. Now, you spoke here. Is this the first time you've spoken at the Qualys conference?
Yes, it is.
Tell us what you spoke on.
Well, I talked about Siemens' journey with Qualys Total AppSec and TruRisk. So we've
How long have you been using TruRisk now? 2 years or?
a couple of years, yeah.
What's been your experience?
Well, one of the biggest challenges we have is integrating the big Siemens approach towards everything with being an agile and very dynamic software company. The big company tends to move a little bit more slowly, so sometimes we have to drag things along in order to get our product out the door. They are coming along. They're getting a lot better. Siemens is really focusing a lot on becoming a digital engineering company.
Yeah.
So
Cool. What was the feedback from the audience here?
well, it was the first session after lunch, so everyone was
They were a little sleepy?
A little bit sleepy.
Carved out?
Yeah. But overall, it seemed very positive.
Yeah. What's been your biggest takeaways?
Biggest takeaways, honestly, it's putting in place a framework that we can use to help our developers secure their own product. It's really been key to give more information to our developers so that they can make better decisions before they actually finish building the code and release it for production use.
Got it. Of course, the big story everywhere this year is AI. LLM use frontier models, whatever you want to call it, agentic AI. Qualys made some agentic AI announcements here. How's that affecting your world?
Well, in the security world, we're still developing our maturity for AI. My team has a couple of people who are focusing on the security threats within AI. It is also part of obviously our strategy going forward within the company. We're building out capabilities for agentic AI within our engineering software, especially within the simulation space. It's been an advanced journey, and I'm happy that I'm not the only one who understands it now.
Well, you really think everyone's getting it, or?
Uh, there's enough people that are getting it. I came up through a pure math background, so
Oh, okay. So you really
I
understand neural
understood it
nets,
a while
all that.
ago, and now I'm seeing actual, sort of regular people come out and being able to understand it too.
It's gone mainstream. That's
It's on
for sure.
mainstream, yeah.
It's gone mainstream. If I had to ask you to look in your crystal ball and say, hey, Joe, when you come to the Qualys event next year, what effect you think this AI and agentic AI is going to have on your day-to-day by next year?
I think the way that Qualys is approaching AI to have multiple different agents or different personas that are operating in parallel, having one chat bot do everything seems a little bit difficult.
Yeah.
So I like the idea of having multiple agents that I can contact.
Well, I think that's the way it's going,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
The chatbot wasn't the ultimate interface.
right. It's having multiple chatbots who are having agentic AI on the back end.
Right.
I don't want to talk to the same bot to make a travel reservation as I do for my security.
Well, I've spoken to a lot of AI people about that. What about the idea of a master agent and all these other agents are like alter egos of it, or it's the orchestrator. That's a good word to use for it. An orchestrator agent
Yeah,
that orchestrates all these different ones. And obviously you're not going to talk to the travel agent one to do your vulnerability remediation, I would hope,
right.
though who knows. But certainly we're going to need some sort of agent management.
Yeah, the sort of concierge or
Yeah,
orchestrator.
concierge is a good word, agent concierge. But you also see the big companies, Salesforce, ServiceNow, Microsoft, IBM, they're all vying for who's going to be your agent manager, right? You may
Sure.
not use my agents, but I could manage your agents.
Yep.
And I think I was having that conversation with Dilip Bakwani here from Qualys, but does he think they will manage third-party agents, or will third-party manage Qualys agents, or maybe both?
Yeah, I would hope that it goes both ways, that you can have a standard approach
Yeah.
and be able to use the best agent for, the best agent is probably not going to be the same one that does the best job of creating a PowerPoint presentation.
No, but I think that's why protocols and stuff like MCP servers, A to A, these kinds of things are important, right?
Absolutely.
To allow that communication. Um, Joe, I think we kind of hit on what we had here for you, but what do you think about the concept of focusing on managing risk versus vulnerability whack-a-mole, if you will?
I think it's really transformative. I mean, just like the idea of managing risk as a factor of cybersecurity in general, taking away from cybersecurity as a purely hygienic, do you patch, do you have all of your antivirus up to date, and turning it into a measurement against the business risk, I think has been a real foundational transformation for the industry. I think transforming vulnerability management in the same way makes a lot of sense. Being able to take your vulnerabilities and really identify, well, what is this actually putting at risk to the business? Because if all that's at risk is having to put out a different press release, that may not be a big deal. If it shuts down, if your vulnerability is one that can shut down your business for an extended period of time, that could be fatal.
Good. I agree with you. I think that's a great way of putting it. I'm going to ask you one last question. If you could look into this camera, your peers, vulnerability management professionals, security professionals, this conference is a bit of a oddity. They don't charge,
Hmm.
right, for a ticket. I mean, you got to pay your airfare or travel, what have you, but they have training they give out for free too. Would you recommend, is this like definitely put it on your list, or what do you think?
Absolutely. It's got some great technical tracks, some great business tracks. Just the information you get from this conference has been remarkable.
Very cool. Joe, thanks for coming here on Techstrom TV with us.
Thank
Good
you very
luck with
much.
you at Siemens. Joe Moore. Hey, we've got, I think, one more interview before we wrap up here at Qualys ROCon this year. Stay tuned for that. You're watching Techstrom TV.